Hello, and thank you for taking the time to view this short video on the Arizona Yacht Club's Racing Score Collector. All the Racing Score Collector is a form on the internet. It's on our AYC website under the Racing Entries and Information page. You'll see this menu. If you're on a computer, it's on the right side. If you happen to be on a mobile device, you'll scroll to the bottom of this page and you'll see this same menu. There is a form for Lake Pleasant and a separate form for Tempe Town Lake. They function exactly the same. The only difference is the list of fleets. First step, once you've opened the form, is to enter the race number, and that can either be for the day or for the weekend. It really doesn't matter. Just keep up with it at the very least for that day. If you're at Lake Pleasant and you want to go from yesterday's and Sunday morning, that'd be fine too. Then we need the start time of that race. I need it in 24-hour time, so 1 through 12 and then 13 through 24 for the afternoon, please. And then we need you to select the fleet for that race. Step 2 is then to enter a sail number, a finish time, and, if required, a race scoring code. First thing you enter is the sail number of the finisher. And then you enter their finish time. Even in one design fleets, we need finish times for everyone. And finally, we enter a scoring code if this is required. For example, if a competitor started a race and didn't finish for some reason, you give them the appropriate code, either retired or DNF. If a competitor finished but was disqualified or TLE, it's good to record the time that they finish and a race code. And the last option on every form is to submit a picture of the sheet. This function is specifically designed for use with mobile devices, so you probably wouldn't be doing this if you are sitting at home entering these on your computer. And in any case, you only need to submit the photo once per race, so typically with the last race submitted. And again, you don't have to do this in the form. You can always scan them in and email them to the scorer if you would prefer. And finally, you click Submit. So after you submit the form, you're going to see this thank you page. It's going to show you the entries you just made. In this case, race number 1, start time 12:30 and 0 seconds. The fleet is Catalina 22. The sail number was 12345, and the finish time was 13:05 and 0 seconds with no race code. On this page, you're going to want to make sure you review your submission for accuracy, and then you can do one of three things. You can edit that submission if you find an error. You can enter the next competitor in the same race and fleet, or you can start working on a new race or fleet. So if you determine that you've made an error entering the score, you just click the Edit Submission button, and it will take you right back to the form you just entered. And you can make whatever corrections you need to make, hit Submit again. It won't re-record a new entry, it will fix the one you had. Once you're certain it's correct, if you keep entering scores for the same race, you click Enter Next Competitor in the same race or fleet, and this will take you back to a form that half of the form is pre-populated because you're working with the same race, the same start time, and the same fleet. Then all you have to enter is the sail number and the finish time, and any race code if required. If on the thank you page you've gotten to the last entry on that sheet, you can click move on to next race or fleet to get a brand new clean form where you'll enter everything over. And lastly, a few functional items. This form is not designed to replace paper records. So we want you to keep taking the scores on paper and then enter them into the form as you have time, either during the day, or some people have chosen to just collect up all the forms and do it from the comfort of their own home. This form is designed to receive one submission per starter in a race. So anyone who starts a race but doesn't finish should have a code. Anyone who doesn't have an entry at all, the assumption is they did not compete, and that will be their score, DNC, in the system for that race. And finally, you can do this from your mobile device if you wanted, if you have time between races. Otherwise, it is also accessible on a regular computer. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope this was informative.